Hi, this is Dr. Lloyd White, and this video will look at the major anatomical spaces in the upper limb. Please be aware that there are other anatomical spaces within the upper limb, however these are the major ones if we're looking at an introduction to the upper limb. So anatomical spaces have boundaries and they also have openings for communications between different regions of the body. The boundaries of the anatomical spaces can be anatomical structures, or they can be defined by landmarks agreed upon by anatomical convention. And the boundaries can either be hard tissues or soft tissues. So for instance, they can be bone, hard tissues, or muscles or connective tissues, which are softer. Anatomical spaces will pretty much always contain neurovascular structures, often a neurovascular bundle, so a bundle of nerve, artery, vein and lymphatics all running together, or any combination of the above. And they communicate with regions or other anatomical spaces proximally and distally. So we can define the course of structures throughout our limbs according to which anatomical spaces they're passing through. Furthermore, anatomical structures can be named according to the anatomical space that they're passing through at the time. For instance, the axillary vein is called the axillary vein while it's within the anatomical space, the axilla. So the first anatomical space we'll look at is the deltopectoral triangle. And it's this anatomical triangle here, bordered by the pec major, the deltoid, and the clavicle. And it's only got one visible structure passing through it, and that is the cephalic vein. And the cephalic vein at the deltopectoral triangle is communicating between the pectoral region superficially and the axillar or subclavian space deeply. So most anatomical spaces in our upper limb have a homologous anatomical space in the lower limb. And the deltopectoral triangle is homologous with the saphenous opening, or the opening in the deep fascia in which the great saphenous vein goes deep to terminate into the femoral vein. So our next anatomical space is the axilla, and it's a complex shaped space. It has many boundaries. Just for brevity's sake for the moment, until you look at the axilla in detail, just know that there are multiple muscles, bones and connective tissues that form different boundaries of the axilla. Now, the contents of the axilla are the axillary artery and vein and the brachial plexus. The axilla is communicating with multiple regions, so regions from the neck that the brachial plexus will be entering into the axilla, out from the neck into the axilla. Communications with the thoracic wall, and communications through the inferolateral portion of the axilla into the upper limb. Now, the homologue of the axilla in the lower limb is our femoral triangle. So moving down and now looking at the anterior aspect of the elbow is our cubital fossa. And its boundaries are a few different muscles. We have pronator teres, brachioradialis, and an invisible line between the medial and lateral epicondyles of the humerus, forming this triangle, cubital fossa. And it contains the brachial artery and vein, the tendon of biceps brachii, as well as the median and radial nerves. So it's quite a complex space. The cubital fossa is communicating with both the brachial and antebrachial regions, so the arm and the forearm. And its homologue in the lower limb is our popliteal fossa. So it acts as the space that the neurovascular structures pass through to get from the arm to the forearm, or from the forearm back up to the arm. Moving even more distally, we have our carpal tunnel on the anterior aspect of our wrist. Its boundaries are the carpal bones underneath and the flexor retinaculum over the top, forming a tunnel for tendons and a nerve to pass through. So we have the median nerve running through the carpal tunnel, as well as multiple tendons which are coming from the forearm down to the fingers. Now the carpal tunnel enables communication of structures between the forearm and the palm of the hand. And in the lower limb, its homologue is the tarsal tunnel, which, if you remember, is allowing communication of neurovascular structures from the leg into the sole of the foot. So for more about the anatomical spaces and the structures that you'll find on the boundaries of the spaces as well as within the spaces, you can consult your prescribed textbook, and for the rules governing anatomical spaces you can consult the principles booklet. I'm Dr. Lloyd White. Until next time, thanks.